Really quick about a little bit of history about how I ended up in private school when my family was poor. My dad still works for the same company that he used to work for when I was about 4 or 5 years old. 35 now. And when he was there, he had a manager or supervisor that was Christian. That manager, he really advised my dad on sending me and my brother to a private school when my dad and my mom were looking for a school to send us to. We grew up in East LA, specifically right off of Alma Avenue and Whittier Boulevard, which is very close to Indiana Street, right by Salazar Park. And so that's where we grew up. Dad's manager, his name is Dave. He really was like, you really should send your kids to a private school, but my dad told him that he couldn't afford it. And so he offered to pay for it. There's not very many people in this world that are like that, but this person is like that, and him and his wife decided to go ahead and pay for my school and also my brother's private schooling from kindergarten all the way through 7th grade. What happened after that, I'm not really sure, and I would like to interview my dad to ask him what happened. Hoping that I can drive out to where he lives. He's about an hour and a half away from me, and I would like to make the drive to ask him what happened after that point, but we ended up going to a college preparatory school after that. It wasn't necessarily private school, but it was kind of like a private school even though it was public. So we ended up going to this private school from kindergarten to 7th grade, and it was a private Christian school. He paid for every month for those years, and I still can't really understand it. I kept in touch with them. I kept in touch with him and his wife, and we talked every couple years after I graduated from high school. They actually have a cabin up in Gorman area, and they were so kind. They would always allow me and my family, meaning my dad, my mom, my brothers and sisters, to go out there and just stay at their cabin for free. They wouldn't charge us anything, and we would hang out there for like a weekend in the snow. It was really nice, and they were very, very generous people. And back in around September, my dad called me to tell me that Dave had gotten lung cancer and that it was really bad. I hadn't kept in touch with him to that point where I didn't even know that it was as bad as it was. I knew that he was sick, but I didn't know it was that bad. And so a few days later, I took my toddler and we went out to visit. It was really hard to interact with him and to talk with him because, first of all, he was very sick and had a very difficult time breathing and talking. And then second of all, my little one was just running around their house, and it was making it really hard. So we were only able to stick around for about 30 minutes, and I had to go because he started to get fussy. But I had a chance to turn around as I was walking out into the porch, and I turned around and I told him that I never really had a chance to thank him for what he did for me. And though he may feel like, well, it was just something that he did, I think because of him, my life really turned around. With him, I was spared from having to go to a public school, and who knows what would have happened to me. I'm not trying to say that public schools are the worst or anything like that. I'm just saying that we had it a little bit better in that sense. So I did thank him, and I thanked his wife, and then I asked them, like, why did you guys do that? And then, I mean, their answer wasn't very poetic, but they pretty much said, well, because we could, And that made me feel like, wow, like, I'm so glad that I've turned out to be the person that I am, where I feel that way. I feel like I will help people when I can, because I can, no matter what, and it's really nice to spread that. I did send him a Christmas card this last year, And I'm pretty sure he got it. I'm pretty sure he saw it. But maybe 1 or 2 days later, he passed away. I haven't asked that specific question. Did you guys get our Christmas card? Was he able to see it? Because it just wasn't appropriate at the time to ask. But besides the meeting that I had with him in person, that was the last interaction that I believe we had, which was the Christmas card. And just really feeling very fortunate to be that kid that got that little prize, you know, that someone looked on us and said that they were willing to donate and help us and take care of us. So that's how I was able to go to private school, although my family was very poor. So I'll talk to you guys soon, and I hope this story has inspired you to be a good person. I'm going to still want to interview my dad and talk more about these details. I would like to get him in front of the camera and get him to talk to you guys about it. So that'll be way later on, though. Okay, baby. I gotta go. Bye.